Some low-income countries and newly emerging economies are experiencing rapid economic development, which leads to significant social, environmental and cultural change. In this video, I will be exploring this, using Nigeria as a case study. Nigeria is a newly emerging economy with a population of over 200 million people in 2020, the seventh largest population on the planet. It is located on the western coast of Africa. In 2020, Nigeria was the largest economy in Africa and 26th in the world, according to the IMF World Economic Outlook. Some predictions suggest that by 2050, it will be in the top 20 largest economies of the world. In 2020, Nigeria was the world's 11th largest oil producer. Its other notable exports include gas, cocoa beans, and gold. Lagos is a major world city and a thriving global economic hub. In 2013, Nigeria contributed the fifth largest number of peacekeepers to the United Nations peacekeeping operations and served a 2-year term from 2014 as a temporary member of the United Nations Security Council. It is important to be aware of the landscape and environment of Nigeria. The north is semi-desert and tropical savanna grasslands. In the south, there are high temperatures and high annual rainfall. Much of the area is forest. In between is the Jos Plateau, a cooler and wetter upland region. Politically, Nigeria gained full independence from the UK in 1960, but bitter power struggles resulted in a series of dictatorships and a civil war. The country was regarded to have stable government for the first time in 1999, and elections were seen as free and fair in both 2011 and 2015. A number of countries began to invest in Nigeria, including China, South Africa, and the USA. Nigeria's political role has changed in recent decades. It has become a leading member of African political and economic groups, as well as international organisations such as the UN. Social diversity is one of Nigeria's greatest strengths. It is a multi-ethnic, multi-faith country with Christianity, Islam and traditional African religions being practiced widely. Recently, the economic inequality between the north and south of Nigeria has created new tensions, which has led to instability in the country and has had negative impacts upon the economy. Nigerian music is enjoyed across the continent and beyond. Nigerian cinema, known as Nollywood, is the second largest film industry in the world, ahead of the USA and behind India. There are a number of well-known Nigerian writers. The Nigerian football team has won the African Cup of Nations 3 times, and several footballers have played for Premier League sides. Since 1999, there have been major changes in Nigeria's industrial structure. Employment in primary occupations such as agriculture has fallen. Industrialisation and economic growth under a stable government has increased employment in oil production, manufacturing and industries such as construction, motor manufacturing, sugar refining, paper and pharmaceuticals. Manufacturing industries stimulate growth through close links with each other, for example, companies supplying parts for making cars. As industries grow, more people are employed and revenue from taxes increases. A thriving industrial sector attracts foreign investment, which stimulates further economic growth. Oil processing has created chemical byproducts. This has led to the growth of a huge range of chemical industries, including soaps, detergents, and plastics. Regular paid work gives people more secure income and provides an ever larger home market for purchasing products such as cars, clothes, and electrical appliances. Around 40 transnational corporations, known as TNCs, operate in Nigeria, and it is argued that companies such as Unilever and Shell have stimulated industrial development. The companies provide employment and development of new skills. There is investment by companies in local infrastructure and education. Valuable export revenues are earned. More money is spent in the economy. Other local companies benefit from increased orders. On the other hand, local workers are sometimes poorly paid. Management jobs often go to foreign employees brought in by the TNCs. Grants and subsidies used to attract TNCs could have been used to invest in Nigerian industry. Workers' conditions are sometimes very poor, and much of the profit generated goes abroad. Nigeria's political and trading relationships with the wider world are developing and changing. It is a major global trading nation and a member of the Commonwealth. US President Barack Obama said Nigeria is critical to the rest of the continent, and if Nigeria does not get it right, Africa will really make no more progress. It is an important member of OPEC, the UN, the African Union, the Economic Community of West African States, and CENSAD. Nigeria has benefited from international aid. Short-term aid is intended to help recipient countries cope with emergencies. In 2017, the UN World Food Programme helped 400,000 people in Nigeria who had failed crops due to conflict in the area. Long-term aid is intended to help countries become more developed. The UK government has funded health and HIV programmes, providing health and education in rural areas. This will help to protect people against infection in the future and help them to work and improve their own lives. Top-down aid is when the government or organisations receive the aid and decide where it should go. In 2014, the World Bank approved a $500 million loan to fund development projects in the country. The aim was to reduce the over-dependence on oil exports. Bottom-up aid is when money is given directly to local people. ActionAid built a health centre in Ajuwan and trained local women to educate mothers about the importance of immunising their children. The fast and unregulated growth of industry has led to environmental problems. Some industries dispose of chemical waste on nearby land, threatening the groundwater quality. 70 to 80% of Nigeria's forests have been destroyed through logging, agriculture, urban expansion, roads, and industrial development. The high rate of urbanisation has brought many challenges. Squatter settlements are common in most cities. Waste disposal has become a major issue. Mining and the extraction of raw materials and precious metals, particularly oil, can lead to serious pollution. Many oil spills in the Niger Delta have had disastrous impacts on freshwater and marine ecosystems. In 2008 and 2009, two large oil spills devastated the livelihoods of thousands of farmers and fishermen living in swamps around Bodo. Nigeria's Human Development Index score has been increasing steadily since 2003. This trend is expected to continue. Between 2003 and 2015, its HDI score increased by 18%, suggesting that economic development has improved people's lives. However, despite these improvements, many people in Nigeria are still poor. Limited access to services such as safe water, sanitation, and reliable electricity is still a problem. Despite Nigeria's huge oil revenues, its oil wealth has not always been used effectively, and the gap between rich and poor has got wider. If you have found this video useful, please press like. Subscribe to support the channel. Thank you for watching.